Hi. Wow. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. I know I'm here a bit late, but come on in. When you come in, like the video and subscribe to the channel. There's something really quickly I want to share with you guys. I think it was a senator that, a conversation that was supposedly leaked of them talking about bringing slavery back. But guys, it gets interesting. They have a plan on how they're going to do that. Yeah, they said, I don't think the blacks are going to go for it, but you know what? There is a group of people that we could enslave. That's what we're going to review today. And I'm telling you, I think we now know why the cage bird sings. I think we know why Erika, Kirk, and Turning Point USA is on the world stage. Could they be the ones to facilitate this entrapment, this enslavement, this indentured servitude? It's about to get deep. I know I say that every video, but I mean, seriously, it really just is. All right, guys, I'm going to wait for a few more of you guys to come in. I have to run and do something really quickly, but I will be right back. So just when you come in, yeah, keep everybody entertained in the comment section, please, for me. I'll be right back, and then we will jump into this video. Maybe I'll play it while I'm gone. Let me play it, so then that way it's a little bit, you know, some entertainment. So when you come in, guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel. And shout out your city, your vibe, your mood, your tribe, and all of that good stuff, guys. I'm going to see if I can share this really quickly. One second.
Mitch. Okay, so I got the transcripts. Mitch. We have to bring slavery back. Those were the good old days. Kevin, how will we do that? There's no way we can do that. Mitch, black people won't do it, but white people will. Kevin, how will we get white people to be slaves? That sounds ridiculous. Mitch, we have to get rid of the separation of church and state. We must have state-funded religious schools. Kevin, I don't see where you're getting at. Mitch, those schools will have work programs for 4th through 8th graders. Kevin, I think I see where you're going here. How is that going to work? Mitch, we get the kids to pick all the produce as a part of their work program to teach them the values of good old-fashioned blue-collar labor and the bounty of God. Kevin, I don't think that anyone will go for that. Mitch, it's all about grooming. Start in the 1st grade, and by 4th grade, they'll be ready to do it. Kevin, but we already have people to pick the produce. Mitch, we have to finish the wall. Kevin, no way that's going to happen. Mitch, we find better ways to get the immigrants out of the United States. Kevin, like doubling ICE. Mitch, yes. Kevin, this will be too hard, and we'll be too busy trying to sustain this over long periods of time and generations. Mitch, no, we get rid of the abortion laws in the United States and we make it mandatory that all 8th grade females be impregnated in order to graduate. Kevin, oh, like replacing the crops. Ha ha ha, pun intended. Also, Kevin, I will work on getting the abortion banned. You work on state-funded religious schools. Mitch, we don't have to do either. Lindsay and I took care of that with the new SCOTUS. Okay, so I got the transcripts. Mitch, we have to bring slavery back. Those were the good old days. Kevin, how will we do that? There's no way we can do that. Mitch, black people won't do it, but white people will. Kevin, how will we get white people to be slaves? That sounds ridiculous.
Okay, guys, I hope you could hear that. Let me make sure.
Kevin.
Okay, cool. I hope you guys could hear that. Welcome in, everyone. We're gonna get into this video. It's not gonna be a long video, but guys, all of the pieces are coming together. It all makes sense now. Whew. Baby, is there a monitoring spirit here? Because like I'm picking up on some frequencies. Don't be messing me up. It's like every time YouTube, no, 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 I'm about to tell the truth. See, this is when I know we're really about to ground into this, okay? I'm going to tell you guys what is happening, why Turning Point USA is on the world stage. Why did they need to, as you know, JD Vance put it last year, that he is the one who murdered Charlie Kirk. That's what he said. That's what his spirit said, right? And now we understand why. I'm going to bring this all together and I'm going to tell you that this correlates to the reason why Erika Kirk is wearing the Christian cloth. The plans they have to make America great again, guys, include slavery. But here's the thing. They said, no, we don't think black people would go for it. But there is a group of people that may just fall for it. They're targeting white Christians. We're going to get into that. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Tahirah, Mother of the Ages. I am a supernatural quantum telepathic healer, creator of the quantum telepathic healing modalities, author of The Great Expansion, a cosmic Bible for the ages. Pick this up on Amazon. There will be some links down below. If you'd like to book a session with me, you need spiritual guidance, you want to do a past life regression quantum healing session so you can get free from all of your past life trauma, karma, all of the things, right? Just email me instructions4humanity@gmail.com. Guys, I've been having the most amazing days to the point where I'm going to have to do a separate video. There is a lot of God information coming through, and I think I may just do this on the Patreon. There's a lot of information happening. I want to save that for the video, but let's get back to this video, right? Let me really quickly put this in the chat really quickly. Oh, guys, by the way, tomorrow at, I think 7 or 7:30, we will do a live where I'm going to have some of you guys come up and share some of your spiritual or supernatural or, matrix, timeline conversion experiences. It's just going to be a free-for-all. So we're going to come here probably 7 or 7:30 tomorrow, Friday, and then I'm going to put the Zoom link for you guys to join in the chat, and you guys can be live here with me. Okay, so that's going to be going on tomorrow. And let me really quickly put this in the chat, not the chat, but put the information in where I need to so other people can find this video. And really quickly, guys, so sorry about that. There is a lot happening. Boy, somebody doesn't want me to talk. Somebody doesn't want me to talk. I always know when the messages are right on par, when it's like, I think I may just be in tune with the behind the scenes of the spiritual warfare. I think I'm just in tune with all of it. And I can often spot that when there's certain frequencies around. And so these people, these elites, or these, I don't even know what to call them, they are, literally trying to keep the message from messaging, but that will not work. No weapons formed against us shall prosper. Okay, sorry guys. I am just taking care of a few things. We're going to get right back into the message. And this is all about to make so much sense. See, we've already done so much legwork in the psychic investigation where now it's so easy to put the pieces together. It's going to just be so easy for these pieces to flow together. And you're going to see that Turning Point USA is a scam. You're going to see that the Christian cloak that Erika Kirk is working, girl, she's wearing that Christian cloak. Now we know why she's doing it. Now we know why. Okay, let me let me get back to it. Now, for the people just coming in, hi Keisha, hi. They're really shadowing this live. Yeah, you shared it. Okay, they do it all the time. I'm not concerned, because at the end of the day, is it not source that sustains me? Does not all things come from thy source? They can't do anything to me. They can try, but I am just unbothered. I am unbothered. So tomorrow night, 7:30, we're going to meet here live, and you guys will be able to come here. I'm going to drop the Zoom link tomorrow night in the chat, and you guys can come up, whatever you want to share. Keisha, I know you have some stuff to share, so just be ready. I know you have some stuff to share. Anyone that wants to come up, I'll try to get to everybody. But I know there's a few people who already, have set up to speak, and then we'll open it up for everyone, and you can share whatever experience. And we're just gonna get into it. Okay. So now, guys, get these likes up, baby. I ain't doing this for my health. Okay. Now let's get back to the message. Here's the thing. So someone found a tape. And now, mind you, I cannot confirm or deny this, but this is circling around. Someone, I think it was some senator, Mish McConaughey or something like that, was talking about how to bring slavery back. But they said, no, the blacks, they won't go for it this time. What will we do? What are we going to do? How are we going to get more energy? Because remember, it's bloodline. What I tell you guys before, the same people that saying that, it was the same people that were in the Holocaust. That was a real event, a real tragedy. But the whole thing is, it was the same people that did the murdering that got murdered. You catch it? They've done this before. So if you don't think they will turn on you, they absolutely will, because they've done it before. History always repeats itself unless we show up and show these things. So it does not happen. And you will be enslaved, and you won't even know that it's happening. You will be brainwashed by this rhetoric that freaking Turning Point USA and Erika Kirk is spreading all over the nation. And when has, listen, people can go to Vegas and get whatever, prostitutes, they can get married, whatever. They can do whatever they want. People can have same-sex, relationships, but somehow, some way, now y'all care about people being Christian. Make that make sense. People they do all sorts of stuff no one cares about. They got the whole Epstein file. No one has had a peep. No one has had a peep, except for if you're Melania girl, and that was weird. But I digress. But all of a sudden, now you want everyone to be Christian? Well, ma'am, we don't truly have any sort of Christian laws in this country. We don't have a Christian way of being. It's all farce, and it's all a lie. And it's going to lead to captivity and indentured servitude if we're not careful. I called this last year, or maybe it was this year, in one of the automatic drawings. I actually called this. I said, wait a minute, the slavery does come back. You guys remember? But this time, it's the opposite. I said they wanted to enslave white people. That came up in the reading. I think that was a few months ago. And now there is a tape. And they're going to explain to you how they want to do it. And I'm telling you, this is why Turning Point USA and Erika Kirk is on the world stage. It all makes a lot of sense now. So for the ones of you guys that are late coming in, I'm going to share this again, and then we're going to go back to Miss Erika Kirk, baby, because now it all makes sense. It all makes a lot of sense. I'm going to start it over for the ones of you who weren't here. So a plan to bring slavery back, alleged conversation, Mitch McConnell. Yep, and Kevin McCarthy, July 2022.
Okay, so I got the transcripts. Mitch, we have to bring slavery back. Those were the good old days. Kevin, how will we do that? There's no way we can do that. Mitch, black people won't do it, but white people will. Kevin, How will we get white people to be slaves? That sounds ridiculous. Mitch, we have to get rid of the separation of church and state. We must have state-funded religious schools. Kevin.
I called this a few weeks ago in a channel. I said there will be no separation between church and state. It's all making sense now.
I don't see where you're getting at. Mitch, those schools will have work programs for 4th through 8th graders. Kevin, I think I see where you're going here. How is that going to work? Mitch, we get the kids to pick all the produce as a part of their work program to teach them the values of good old-fashioned blue-collar labor and the bounty of God. Kevin, I don't think that anyone will go for that. Mitch, it's all about grooming. Start in the 1st grade, and by 4th grade, they'll be ready to do it. Kevin, but we already have people to pick the produce. Mitch, we have to finish the wall. Kevin, no way that's going to happen. Mitch, we find better ways to get the immigrants out of the United States. Kevin, like doubling ICE. Mitch, yes. Kevin, this will be too hard, and we'll be too busy trying.
So is that the reason why they need the immigrants gone, guys? It makes sense. This is the reason why they are willing to tear families apart. They are willing to go to extreme measures. It has nothing to do with your safety. They are trying to, and here's the thing. Oh my God, guys, this is crazy. Most of the people who are in agreement with the deportations, right, are the very people they are planning to enslave. Let's continue.
To sustain this over long periods of time and generations. Mitch, no, we get rid of the abortion laws in the United States and we make it mandatory that all 8th grade females be impregnated in order to graduate. Kevin, like replacing the crops. Ha ha ha, pun intended. Also, Kevin, I will work on getting the abortion banned. You work on state-funded religious schools. Mitch, we don't have to do either. Lindsay and I took care of that with the new SCOTUS.
Oh boy. Now we know. Wow. Okay. Wow. Wow. Hold on. We're going to get to Erika Kirk. Do you see how crafty people are? They will sell you a dream, tell you you are so unsafe because the immigrants are here. Girl, the immigrants are here working like 5 jobs, most of them, to send money back home to their country. They're not really thinking about you unless they're the immigrants that they purposefully let in, all of the Venezuelan gang members. They purposefully let them in so that they could have a motive, so that Americans would buy it. Do you see how, remember I kept saying everything is everything? They want just bloodline. Remember back in 2 videos back, we were talking about them making a copy of Charlie Kirk to create a hybrid race that has some sort of alien tech hybrid transhumanism. Because it's going back to slavery. I believe if you can't be useful to these people, that's what I'm telling you, that mark of the beast, guys. Do you think they care about you buying or selling anything? No, the mark of the beast is to take you out. Once you give them access inside of your body to operate a phone, to operate, the neural link, they will kill you. I'm sorry, I just got to say there's really no other appropriate, word for that. If you let them inside, they will kill you. And at the very best, if you let them inside, they will kill you off, your consciousness off, and then they will seed one of their demon seeds in there. So by no means are you to give them access to you. We are sovereign beings Do not give access and consent to someone else coming inside of your dwelling of the Most High. That is an absolute violation. This is your church. It's inside of the body. So this is why they want the immigrants gone. He just said it. Read between the lines. He just said it. So now your children, they'll start grooming them. That's what they said. From first grade or kindergarten. So by the time they're in fourth grade, they'll be little slaves and they won't know it. And the parents will think that they're sending them to have the good Christian values because this world is so unsafe. So we got to get them back grounded into religion, guys. This is the psyop. There's a lot of prophets saying we're going to have a revival. Half of this revival is fake. All of this stuff is fake. The revival is fake. We can't trust the revival anymore. We cannot trust the revival. So just let's scratch that off. You're going to have to do the work. There isn't any per se revival of someone coming, a church, an organization, the government. That is not true. That's not going to happen. That one's going to be fake. And part of the fake revival is Turning Point USA and Erika Kirk. You just wait into the primaries. You just wait until 2028. You just wait until the new presidency. You just wait. They're all putting things in place to enslave people by saying that they're giving you back God. That's why Trump was, oh, I'm a Christian. That's why he was, the whole show was to enslave white Christians. This is what they have plans to do. Religions are just vehicles to move your energy, your money, your bodies from point A to point B so they can traffic you, so they can get inside, so they can embody you and take over you, so they can have you out there, girl, your children at, 8 years old picking cotton. This is cuckoo for mofo Cocoa Puffs. But here's the gag. Here's the gag. You guys know there's a lot of those crazy fanatic Make America Great Again people. They will be the ones to send their children to these camps. If you tell them it's a red hat day and there's no immigrants in sight, baby, they will send their children out there to be slaves and they won't even know it. And cue in Erika Kirk. This is why Erika Kirk is on the world stage to make America's slavery again. Through this whole Christian persona that she is cloaking in. Okay?
Disenfranchise you. Don't let anyone disenfranchise you because you're a young man, especially a young white male man. Don't ever let anyone talk down to you. We need strong men out there, strong men who are convicted, that will be good leaders, good husbands.
Convicted of what, girl? I'm getting, and she said a white male man. Girl, what is this?
Good fathers like mine. We need that. And young women, we need you to also rise up. Don't compromise yourself. Don't look at other women and compare yourself. God has created you for a purpose and a reason far greater than you and I will ever know on this side of heaven.
Yeah, I think it's called Slavery 2.0.
But just know that as long as you're a part of Turning Point USA, you have us by your side, and we will be there for you every step of the way.
So I'll let y'all in on this. I am not a young Democrat. But I am so proud to stand here with these young Democrats today. The Equal Access Act, signed by President Ronald Reagan, protects the rights of students to organize without discrimination based on political affiliation. That means if a Club America chapter is allowed in every high school and college across our state, a Young Democrat chapter will be as well. And let me tell you this, to those students that are listening, if your high school or college refuses to let you start a club at your school, the Democratic Party of Arkansas has your back, like we always have. Our lawyers will have something to say about that.
Don't let anyone disenfranchise you.
It all makes sense now. This woman's been going around to schools all around the country. And remember them talking about, oh, we have Turning Point USA campuses all over. Like, they are literally, you're US funded, by the way. They are literally going on a tour, creating campuses, creating organizations, different chapters in different states and cities around the country to put this whole thing, this whole new psyop into place. JD Vance is in on it. Erika, Kirk, Donald Trump, the Zionists. It's the same. History is repeating itself. This is why it's so laughable when people are like, oh, we don't want to, like, you know, we're not going to pay reparations. We don't want to pay reparations. 2/3 of the entire world has said that the transatlantic slave trade was the worst atrocity in human history. Guess who said that it wasn't? Israel, the United States, and Argentina. They're like the only ones that was like, oh, it wasn't so bad. Well, we know why, because most of this happened in the US. Argentina, guess who's from Argentina? The Pope. And then, you know, you got Zionist Israel, who body hopped into the enslaved people, and they're predicating as the Jews when they know that they stole the Jews and shipped them off all over the world. So then they could just show up one day in the 1940s or whenever Israel became a state, and say that they're God's chosen people. Girl, if you God chosen people, you would have been God's chosen people way back when. How you gonna leave black and then you show up with lighter skin and huge beards and top hat? Like, come make that make sense, y'all. And this is literally over 100-degree weather, y'all. You know, at some point we just got to keep it real with ourselves, because they're about to run the whole psyop all over again, and you have to keep it real. Otherwise, you'll be part of the psyop, and you will not know. Most of these people in the red hats, they won't know. They will send their children to these camps, these Christian schools that Turning Point USA is going to be setting up. It'll be like, you know how in the jail they make these people make underwear for like $1 a day or something? That's what they plan on doing to the children. But I don't think it'll end there. I don't think it'll end there. I think it'll be the adults as well. Because think about it. If you will allow your children to be enslaved, then what's stopping you from falling for the okie doke as well? That's why when I was saying, I spoke about this in great detail. We spent a lot of time entering into the race template, because Source said this was going to come up. Now it all makes sense. We spent a lot of time talking about slavery. It was showing up all over in the automatic drawings. Now it all makes sense. In one of the automatic drawings, Donald Trump, in there, he says that this is how his family made their wealth, from slavery. Well, what do you think happens next, guys? They want to continue to make their wealth. Do you think they care who is enslaved? No. As long as they can use bodies for free labor. That's the whole thing. Now, it won't be as worse as that, as chattel slavery, where you're literally born into slavery. No matter what you do, you can't get out. This feels a lot to me like indentured servitude, which was actually another form of slavery that some Black people here in America endured, because they pretty much confiscated their lands, changed their identity through paper genocide, and then over time, switch your identity with other people. And yeah, you're sitting here paying to get everything back. Do you notice how United States is nothing but big indentured servitude? Somebody came out and said, I bet you that if a job came out and said, look, we're not going to pay you any income, but you're going to get to live here for free in our facility, and we're going to give you 3 meals a day. They said that job would be filled up with people. I know it would be, because most people are just going to work and then they're just giving back the entire check to bills, like probably the same day. So what's the difference, guys? Listen, we are already there. We're just one more step away from the slavery, from the indentured servitude. If inflation goes up one more time, we will be there. They will start these jobs. The job said, I'm not paying you nothing. We're just going to give you 3 square meals and a place to lay your head. That's what I'm talking about, guys. We're almost there. In order to fix this, I've said it, but in order to fix this, you're going to have to let go of your biases, your racism, the prejudice, the classism, all of the isms. You got to get rid of the isms, because that's not true divine energy. Divine energy doesn't siphon and suck and use other things for labor. Divine energy turns online, and then you call everything in because you are now the center of your universe, meaning one. You're now reach oneness with God. This is how you know these people have no divinity. They don't even know the alchemy on this stuff. If you truly have the alchemy, if you truly are connected with Source, you don't need to actually enslave anyone. But only they do, because they are the inorganic ones. Like I said before, they are from another, star system. I don't know what to say. This is just, I'm not going to be on here long. I just wanted to bring that to you guys and let you guys, see what you think about that, because that is just crazy to me. But the crazier part is I know there will be people who fall for this. That's the crazier part. There are some people, you guys know, they're like lower, they live in really small rural towns. You've seen them before. Even Donald Trump made a statement and said, I could stand out here and shoot someone and people would still vote for me, because he knows his hardcore base. They know the people. They've been targeting these people. I'm telling you, they are targeting white people. I am telling you. And they're targeting the ones that are from lower income. And I'm almost would go to say they might even bring something out where they'll give people like a stipend. Girl, that's probably the universal income. Do you see how all of this leads to slavery? And I am telling you, let me tell you guys a story. The reason why I left working at CBS for the Judge Judy show, it's a producer there. The reason why I left is because I felt that the show was targeting people from low impoverished areas. A lot of them never been on a plane. Of course, never been to LA. A lot of them were very poor. So, we would give them like per diem, money to spend while they were there. And it wasn't very much money. So that's when I know like the caliber of people that they were targeting. This is the reason why I left. I said, this is not right. We are literally, once I figured it out, I'm like, we're targeting people who don't know any better. We know more than them. We're taking advantage. And I'm telling you, it's the same base as the Make America Great Again base. I'm talking about the ones they're targeting to hold the narrative no matter what it looks like. They will die on that hill because of their ignorance. When you don't have a lot of access to money and other people and other things, then it's easy for you to be programmed. And that is the reason why I left working for Judge Judy, is because it was the same sort of people. They were targeting them. And I said, this is not right. It's not right. I left a whole resignation letter. I sent it to everyone in the office because I wanted everyone in the office to understand what they are doing. This is literally a deal with the devil that you're doing. And I literally put at the end of the email, I said, God calls us higher to help people that are less fortunate, not to take advantage of them. That is exactly what I said. I sent it to every single person, almost 50 of us. But that's what was going on. And I can spot it here because I know what they're doing, because they did it there. And these are the same people, by the way. I really hate that they have really given Jewish people a bad name. But we know there's two different types. We're talking about the Zionists, the ones that literally are not human. Let's just keep it real. They run that whole thing over there. My executive producer, they both were Jewish. It all makes sense. Even, Judge Judy herself. It all makes sense now. It all makes a lot of sense. Because they have control over what goes in between your ears in that television, what tells lies to your vision. That's part of their tool to program us as well. But it's all coming from the same people. We got the slavery coming from the same people. So this slavery 3.0 is still the same people. It was never, now it was never about the race of the person. It was only about, in the beginning, we have to clear these people out of the way so that we can body hop and cloak as the Israelites. That was the first thing. Now, they want to, what? It's like these people, just crazy. Don't you have enough stuff? Like, why do you need more free labor? To the point where you need kids out there now. How shameful is this? That is just shameful. I don't even have anything to say. It's just ridiculous. It's like, how much more stuff do you need to be happy? If you're not happy now, another, couple of trillions of dollars will not make you happy. You own pretty much 99% of the stuff. The other 1% ain't going to make you more happy than the 99% that you already control. This is why Erika Kirk is on the world stage. Mark my words, as we get into the primaries, if they bring any sort of, and it feels like this happens when Vance starts to run. If they bring anything up about these schools and these Christian entrapment camps, because baby, it's giving the vibe. You're going to have to send your kid there like a boarding school. And girl, this is going to be state funded. They're going to be funding these, I'm calling them entrapment camps. They're going to fund these schools, the government. And you're going to think, my God, they are brought back all the Christian values. They've gotten the immigrants out. The immigrants going to be good. That's the only reason why they want the immigrants gone, so that people will be forced to be back on these plantations. And it won't just end there with the kids. That's just how they're going to groom the children. So by the children graduate, they're going to go right from that entrapment camp camp to the plantation. They won't even know they're on a plantation. That's why they want to also get rid of critical race theory. Guys, all of this stuff you've been told is a lie. And a lot of this stuff we all believe. Some people, we believe that it was good. There's a lot of Christians who believe, and they voted for Donald Trump because they were looking out for what is best for God. But they didn't know that this is a psyop. Now it all is coming full circle. It is an absolute psyop to the max. This is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. How do we fix this? It's easy. We take care of the original infliction, which was the original slavery that somehow the U.S. said it wasn't that bad. Oh, yes, all of the other countries, 2/3 of the world said it was the worst event in history, chattel slavery. But all of a sudden the U.S. and is not real, and Argentina say, oh no, it wasn't that bad. You gaslighting because you're about to do it again. That's why. How do we fix it? We fix the original infliction, which was that slavery. I've called this out before since the beginning of the psychic investigation. If America does not make this whole, does not take responsibility for the chattel slavery and the original Epstein stuff, because way worse was happening to the enslaved people here on this land. If they don't make that whole and pay these reparations, America will fall. It's that simple. You choose what you want. And humanity, this will be a stain on humanity's soul, because our oversoul is saying all we had to do was to love. We had a chance. We got to look in the mirror. We can see the cycle happening again. But yet, because we can't, because the people that were enslaved before, they show up in black skin, this will be the problem. People will downplay it. Oh, it wasn't that bad. You don't need to make that whole. But every other group has had reparations. Every single other group. And collectively, the world has agreed that chattel slavery was, in fact, the worst atrocity. If this is not fixed, the earth children will perish because they enslaved Israel. That's what is happening. And it's been a psyop. Everyone's been lied to, and it's been a psyop for so long, and they're about to run the show all over again. All over again. And Erika Kirk, I'm telling you, is heavily involved. All of those campuses around the world. How many campuses does Turning Point USA have? I'm curious. Oh, interesting. With a presence of over 3,500 campuses, Turning Point USA is the largest and fastest growing youth organization in America. Say it ain't mofo so. Yeah, you wonder why it's the fastest growing youth. It makes you truly believe that video because it all makes sense. Fastest growing youth organization in America. They are setting people up to be enslaved. That's exactly what it's going to be. Period. That is, in fact, what is going to be happening. And you guys know, slavery doesn't have to look like the old way. But what do we have now? It's pretty much slavery. Slavery? What is that? Something else is coming through. Slavery. Because if you can pretty much just work on the corporate plantation and then you just give it back to the same corporations, did you really make money? If a tree fell in the forest but no one was around to make a sound, didn't actually make a sound. If you make your money, but then on Friday when you get paid, if you then have to go back and put it back into circulation, double, triple taxed, by the way, thank you. Because you get taxed when you spend. You get taxed when you don't spend. You just get taxed because you're a slave. That's the secret. So you know what I'm saying? It's already like that. If you don't actually get to keep it in the money, did you make it? Who's to say you truly made anything? You didn't. Because then you're double, triple taxed when you spend it. So you're not making anything. So you are enslaved. This is what slavery looks like in the modern day. And we have to awaken to this. Otherwise, our children will be in these Turning Point USA Christian enslavement entrapment camps. And I'm telling you, once they get our children there, you think you're going to get them back? Once they get that free labor, do you really think you're going to get your kids back? No. 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 I'm just saying. I think I'm going to end it here. I'm really not. Also, too, the homestead stuff, guys, it's a scam. Homesteading is good. Being prepared is good. But I'm telling you, if the government comes out and they make these things that plays into the whole thing where they everywhere we try to run, we try to homeschool our children, right? We try to get farmland, we try to farm. Then they find themselves in our spaces. They find a way to worm themselves in there. And then now they're going to use that whole setup. So the ones of us that wanted to run away out of the matrix and just do our own thing, live our own life, independently from the system, they wormed their way in there. And now they're taking that whole homesteading, let's go ahead and get back to the land, Those people in Arkansas that return to the land, they're using that. You think that's on the world stage and on the news for no reason? No, they're using that because they have weaseled their way in. So when you're going to think, oh, the kids are going to be doing such a good thing, they're going to be learning the value of making America like this American soil that we live on. Oh, they're going to be tilling that land. They're going to be taking pride and being a real American. They're going to learn how to grow on American soil. I'm channeling this. I'm even saying someone's going to literally come and be saying this stuff. We got to love America so deep. We got to love America's soil again. Yes, they're going to take that whole homesteading stuff and psyop that thing. Because that's what they're planning to do to these kids. They be working in a plantation and you think they're learning how to grow food to sustain themselves. No, to sustain them. To sustain the same elites that did the slavery in the first place. It's the same show all over again because we refuse to heal this timeline. That is why it will happen again if this timeline is not healed. You can't run away from the karmic mirror. You can't run away from yourself. Look at me. I'm telling you, just the spirit is saying, look at me. Look at me. Not at me, but intimacy into me. Look at me. That is the mirror. That is what needs to happen to free and break the chain. It's the loop. That's the true slavery. It starts in the astrals. And if we don't look at each other, there's some people who they cannot look at people that look differently and see them as human until we say, look at me. That intimacy, the true intimacy when you truly are of soul and spirit. And there should just be a moment with true divine awareness, and you just see the whole timeline so clearly. And just that look, that intimacy, that looking into the other person can literally heal and correct whole timelines. That's all it takes. It doesn't even take a big declaration of anything. It doesn't take that. It's just for everyone to go inside and to really look at it, to make it whole. And when you say look at it, is to pull it apart and see the infliction, see the pain body. We're pulling the pain body out of the other person. It's like, I know your heart hurts. Let me see you as a full person, and yeah, let me look in the mirror. Let me look in that karmic mirror. It's like, they say you get that life review, but it's really when you get to align yourself with that, to now experience the sensation, the feeling, the heartache, the mental anguish, to experience all of that, then you can release it. It doesn't take a big declaration. It just takes the heart to heal. But if we don't do this, then, this will be a very big stain on the collective soul body. Our oversouls will not be happy with this, because we were so close to expansion, but our biases at the end stop the whole show. We can literally save humanity, but we have to get rid of this. We have to. It's time. It is absolutely time for this to go away. Okay? I'm gonna read a few comments. I'm gonna go ahead and leave really quickly here. Natalie says, the UK reported yesterday revealed that the universal credit could be cut in half. This is shocking and unacceptable. Same for the PIP, not a matter of disability. Wow. Yeah, I think they're trying to do that here too. People have been talking about how they're cutting their disability. Now, mind you, if you're already on disability, you're not getting that much money. So just imagine if they cut that in half, because I'm telling you guys, they want people to be slaves. It all makes sense now. That's why they're targeting the immigrants. It had nothing to do with what they told you about. It was to get everyone back into like a slave master mentality, because humanity was waking up. So they've started to put this in circulation and the psyops, and they're like, we know what we'll do. We will say that we're bringing Christianity back, and we're going to bring the values back. They said that they want it by 8th grade. In order to graduate, you got to be pregnant. That's what they said in that video clip. That's why they want to ban abortions in all these states. It has nothing to do with the people. They just want to create as many slaves, and they want you to be poor. So don't let them fool you. They want you to keep having a lot of kids, more slaves for them. And at the same time, they know the more kids you have, the more you will not have money. So you will have to do what it is that they say to do, because you will be forced to. That's not our portion here. It's up to humanity. If we look in the karmic mirror, we heal this, then we recorrect all of this stuff. This is how powerful we are, but we got to do it. It's not about, I know, and some people, they just, you ever meet those people who they never want to just admit that they're wrong. They might just call you out of the blue, but they'll never say I'm sorry, but they'll call you like nothing ever happened, and hey girl, you want to do this, you want to do that. But some people are just like that. They don't want to admit. And this is not even something you have to necessarily admit to anyone. This is something you admit to God. This is something that you work out with God. It's truly that simple. It's that simple, but the ego, man, I'm telling you, the ego will not allow people to do this, So I just thought that was, when I heard that, I was like, what? That is crazy. But I was like, it all makes sense of the Turning Point USA. 3,500 campuses, and They are targeting our children. And they're letting this woman speak and be on government boards, and she's here for your enslavement. We got to get that. We have to get that. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. Keisha, yes. Also believe that we are Asiatic Moors originally. Absolutely, we are. My dad was a Moor. He lived his life as a Moor. He, filed for his paperwork as a Moor. When my dad passed away, he was buried within the Moorish flag was in the inside of his casket. He wore his Moorish, attire. So yes, that's who we are. That's who we are. So yeah, it's all kind of the same people. So we can say Israelite, right? We can say Moor, we can say Aboriginal, right? We can even say Indian, because through the paper genocide, they just kept relabeling and relabeling and relabeling. You can say Negro, right? It's all from the same people. Not to say that everyone is the same, but there are absolutely Asiatic Moors that are classified as Negro. Absolutely. All right. That was that. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't even know what to say. I just was like, wow. How Erika Kirk is always, it's not even her, it's just the whole psyop. It always goes back to the Turning Point USA. Now it makes sense why, like I said, the government had to seize Turning Point USA, because Charlie had built it up to a point where he had a lot of influence with the youth. That was too powerful for them. They needed to have that influence for themselves. Because the one that can control the youth, and think about it, Charlie was preaching with the young conservatives, Christians. They took that and then made it part of a psyop to try to enslave people on the back end. That's not what it was originally for, but that's what they're going to make it for. And Erika Kirk is with it. She is all with it. She was with it from day one. Well, the formerly Erika Kirk now is just the Baal energy inside. So yeah, the guys, that's it. I gotta run, but I love you guys so very much. I love you. I love you. I love you. And so it is. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 7:30. I think I'll be on around 7, and then I'll share the link. Anyone want to come up and be live? We'll share some spiritual experiences, timeline jumping, whatever you guys want to share. I can, I'm well versed in a lot of things. So whatever you want to share, yes, we will do that tomorrow evening around 7 p.m. So please do join us here. Okay, guys, I love you. I love you. I love you. And so it is, as we walk together in divine love. Love you. Be well, guys. See you tomorrow. You're welcome. Oh, Natalie, you're welcome.